Alright everyone, this video is probably going to be a little bit controversial, so this video is about icing and how I don't think we should do it. I think that it doesn't work. I think that it delays recovery and prolongs injury. I think we've been duped and lied to, and I think people around you are going to tell you that you should keep icing. Physical therapists even, doctors even, friends. I mean, so what do I have? I am just some guy on the internet with zero medical anything. I don't have any, where does my authority come in from? Well, first thing I'll say is me personally, I mean, you've seen my ascent of sorts over the last 5-6 months or whatever, my ability to jump improving. And from the start of the year when I was in a walking boot, and you've seen that I can, just improving, and obviously I've had plenty of injuries this year, as any basketball player does. A roll and various small bruises and tendonitis and all sorts of things. But I mean, I recover very fast from these injuries because I know how to recover now. That's the main thing. Basketball players are always getting injured. We're always getting injured. That is sometimes called the equalizer, but if we're able to recover faster, then we can just train more and we'll be more athletic and we'll get ahead in the competition too. So what's the science behind it? Well, first I want to shout out Gary Reinl. This guy got me into it. And here's a couple quotes from journals. Topical cooling, icing, delays recovery, Journal of Strength and Conditioning. Ice is commonly used after acute muscle strains, but there are no clinical studies of its effectiveness, British Journal of Sports Medicine, and so forth. The science just doesn't support it. So first I'll say that if you've been icing for a really long time, you shouldn't feel bad. Hopefully you have an open mind to this. The idea that, hey, maybe we're wrong. Just because we've been doing it for a long time doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Although it's hard to say it doesn't work because there's so many people around us. But hopefully you have an open mind. And I'm going to include links to the science below if you want to explore it yourself. But basically here's the way the human body works. When we have an acute injury or whatever, the body is going to send fluid to that area to prepare to heal it. This is called inflammation. If we cut off the inflammation, then the helper cells never get to that site. So we definitely do want inflammation, and our body's pretty smart. It sends the right amount. It's not an overreaction. Every mammal is not wrong. So that's the first step of healing. The issue then is if that inflammation, all that fluid that goes to the area stays there, and our body part swells up and gets very painful and hard to move. Well, what then? Well, that is swelling. Swelling is accumulation. Inflammation is flow. Well, if you just look up the lymphatic system, or the lymph system is this, the white blood cell fluid. The only pump for that is muscle activation. So basically, inflammation is going to come in, and to prevent swelling, to clear the inflammation, we need to activate the muscle. And we can do that by, say it's our ankle sprain, wiggling our toes, doing ABCs and so forth. And that's just basically how it works. If you ice it, you don't prevent the inflammation. You delay the inflammation. That inflammation is still going to come, but now one, it's delayed. Two, it comes all at once. So it can actually lead to swelling. And it makes it harder to muscle activate, obviously, because it, puts your muscles to sleep in the sense. It makes them cold, So it makes it harder to clear inflammation too. So that's basically the science as I understand it. For everyone, I really just don't think we should be doing it. And I mean, I have an open mind to either side, and I've been an icer and I'm not anymore. And just my eyes are open to understanding the science. And also that's one of the reasons why, and it's really a key in my my athletic gains this summer that you've seen. I jump a lot higher and so forth, and that hasn't been without injuries. It's just my recovery is good because when I get injured, I know that, okay, there's going to be a little bit of inflammation. And that's fine. I don't want to prevent that. I want to prevent the swelling though, so I'm going to need to move. So for example, on days where I just do way too much, my heavy exercise days the next day. In the past, I would maybe do rest, ice, compression, elevation, not move too much, ice my shit down, and what that does is it just delays inflammation and does nothing to prevent swelling. Shit swells up, all bad. But instead, I'm like, all right, inflammation's gonna come in. I just need to move. I'm just gonna walk as much as I possibly can today. I'm gonna go down to the field. I'm gonna go down to the beach. I'm just gonna walk today, and that's gonna be totally fine because this movement is gonna clear any kind of swelling. Allow me to cycle through my inflammatory process, and I'm going to recover much faster. And that's basically what recovery is all about for me. I don't believe in in rest. I believe in recovery. Other options, obviously massage is a good way to activate muscles or something like that. I don't know. I mean, massage helps move the lymphatic system, I believe, because it helps activate muscles. Definitely movement is just the way to go, but massage is good for other reasons, like fascial breakdown of knots and so forth. But this guy, Gary Reinl, is all about, excuse my cough, it's getting better as you can see. This guy, Gary Reinl, is all about electronic muscle activators, you know, those things where you stick pads and it makes your muscles flex. I mean, you need to throw out like $1,000 to get one of those machines. That's pretty expensive, and a lot of elite athletes use that. But you don't need that, just move, I think. So, questions, comments, hit me below. Again, in the info, I'm going to include links to journal articles and links to this book, so you can check that out. But that's basically it, man. I hope this helps you recover way faster from every injury, so all of y'all can run faster, jump higher, spend more time on the court, enjoy basketball more, and have a better understanding of what we're all doing to our bodies. So, it's energy efficient basketball. Do not ice.